Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. As always, my name is Jay. In this video I want to talk about, in my opinion, the silliest rule in Warhammer 40K 10th edition. And I want your opinion on this. What do you think is the silliest rule? Leave comments in the comment section down below. But to me, it's this little rule, one line, one page. When I read it the first time I was going through the rules, I didn't even think about it. And then after watching battle reports and playing a few games, it really started being important. And it's silly, in my opinion, and it actually really affected several of my games. Yeah. Page 58 of the rulebook. One little line. Its models cannot end a move on top of an objective marker. That's a huge, silly rule, in my opinion. In every edition before this, you could end your turn on an objective marker. And I guess it was designed to prevent large models, like a Bane Blade, from camping on top of an objective, or a Knight. But that was the challenge. I liked that, especially with the new rules regarding, the control number. I didn't mind the being able to camp on an objective. And in this edition, you can't. And it's actually affected several of my games so far, because you can essentially create a situation where your opponent can't assault you, which is very weird. Removing the ability to be assaulted. It actually happened in my very first game of 40k. I was playing Genestealer Cult against Knights, and I had a big blob of hybrids, and they were about an inch or two behind the objective. And it was the objective was placed in a tight corridor where the terrain was. And when my opponent wanted to assault me, he needed 9 inches, 8 or 9 inches, I remember, to get in. But then we realized, no, because you can't end your... there's no way that he could assault me without stopping on the objective. The base size is just too huge. And so the only option would have been, and based on how big the corridor was, and I was basically taking up the whole width, was the Knight would have had to go past my squad to get them from to assault them from the back, which made no sense. And he couldn't, because the distance would have made sense in that case. He would have been like 14 inches, I think. But still, it blocked it. And I didn't even do it intentionally. And we looked at the rules and we were like, yeah, that's the rules. Rules is written. You can't end your turn on an objective marker. You can't end your movement. And I've watched battle reports where intentionally people have done that. And again, if you're facing a giant model like Knights, you can do that. Heck, if it's like Knights versus Knights, I would hide my Knight behind the objective. Because your opponent can't go through you and they can't stop on an objective. That would be a huge way of stopping this new Lancer. Is that you put your model that the Lancer wants to hit behind an objective and see if it adds the distance in these cases. That's a silly rule. That's a very, very silly rule. Yeah, and I've watched battle reports where people have just decided to ignore the rule. And so from now on you can stop on objectives because they know how silly it is and how it really can clog, to me, I played a game where it basically clogged an entire pathway because the vehicle couldn't go above, it couldn't end on the objective, right? It's crazy to me. It's a very silly rule. Yeah, and I said it's affected by games. What do you think? I said it's just a quick video. I think it's the silliest rule so far, but maybe you have sillier rules. What do you think? Leave comments in the comment section down below of what rule you feel is the silliest rule so far in Warhammer 40K 10th edition. To me, it's this. As I said, it's just a little one, but it affects so many of my games so far, and I'm wondering if maybe tournaments are going to ignore that, or they're going to enforce it. We'll see. So, please leave comments in the comment section down below. Like the video, subscribe to my channel if you've already done so. I just want to make a quick, short video about what I feel to be the silliest rule in Warhammer 40K 10th edition. Yeah. So stay tuned for more videos. So next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting.